The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade, with trillions of dollars in goods passing through its waters each year. This bustling maritime highway connects economies across Asia, the Middle East, and beyond, making it one of the most important and heavily trafficked sea routes in the world. Beneath the waves, the seabed holds vast oil and gas reserves, resources that could fuel economies for generations. Above, its rich fishing grounds feed millions, supporting the livelihoods of coastal communities and providing a crucial source of protein for the region. Control over this sea has sparked fierce geopolitical competition, with overlapping claims from several nations leading to a tense and often dangerous standoff. The region has become a flashpoint where national interests and global ambitions collide. At the center of this standoff are China, a global superpower with expanding influence, and the Philippines, a smaller nation determined to defend its rights and protect its people. China's sweeping claims, marked by its controversial 9-dash line, encroach deep into the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. This is not just a dispute over territory, but a battle over sovereignty, resources, and the very principles of international law. The Philippines has chosen to fight back not with warships, but with laws, maps, and the support of the international community. Its strategy is rooted in diplomacy and legal action, seeking allies and building a coalition for its cause. Despite this, Chinese vessels now regularly patrol waters internationally recognized as Philippine territory, harassing local fishermen, blocking resupply missions, and asserting their presence with increasing frequency. The stakes for the Philippines are incredibly high. Access to vital resources, food security, and national sovereignty are under daily threat. For many Filipinos, this is a struggle for survival and dignity. Manila's response is strategic and measured, leveraging international law, historical evidence, and diplomatic channels to assert its claims and rally support from other nations. The Philippines took its case to the world stage, winning a landmark legal victory at The Hague and strengthening domestic laws to formalize its entitlements. This legal triumph has become a cornerstone of its ongoing campaign. This marks a new chapter in the standoff, a calculated move to counter China's ambiguous claims with legal and historical clarity, setting a powerful example for others. The Philippines' approach sets a precedent for other claimant states in the region, encouraging peaceful resolution and respect for international law. The standoff is now a test of law, not just power, a contest that will shape the future of the South China Sea and the rules that govern our oceans. China's claim to the South China Sea is symbolized by a sweeping U-shaped 9-dash line on its maps, a bold marker that has become a flashpoint in regional geopolitics. This line, drawn with little explanation, covers nearly 90% of the entire sea, stretching across vital shipping lanes and resource-rich waters. Beijing bases this sweeping claim on vague assertions of historical rights, rather than on the established principles of international law. The origins of the 9-dash line are murky and controversial. It first appeared on Chinese maps in 1947, but with no precise coordinates, no official explanation, and no clear legal definition, leaving its basis open to interpretation. This ambiguity is not accidental, it's strategic, allowing China to assert its claims flexibly while sidestepping direct legal challenges from other nations. But this vagueness is also a significant weakness. International law, especially the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, bases maritime rights on geography and proximity, not on historical narratives. China's sweeping claim directly clashes with UNCLOS, which grants exclusive economic zones, or EEZs, to coastal states like the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. The 9-dash line overlaps with these internationally recognized zones, threatening the rights of neighboring countries to fish, drill, and manage resources in their own waters. For the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations, China's claim is seen as an unlawful attempt to dominate a shared sea, undermining their sovereignty and livelihoods. The dispute pits China's powerful historical narrative against the modern rules that govern today's oceans, creating a fundamental clash of perspectives. If accepted, the 9-dash line would erase the exclusive rights UNCLOS grants to other states, redrawing boundaries that have been internationally agreed upon. That's why the Philippines and its neighbors have united in strong opposition, taking their case to international courts and diplomatic forums. They see China's claim as an attempt to rewrite the law of the sea, setting a dangerous precedent for global maritime order. The battle is over who sets the rules, history, as interpreted by one nation, or the international law that governs all. UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, is the foundation of modern maritime law. Ratified by over 160 countries, including China and the Philippines, it sets clear rules for defining maritime zones and rights. Under UNCLOS, a country's maritime entitlements are measured from its coast, not from historical claims. Coastal states can claim a 12 nautical mile territorial sea and a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, with exclusive rights to resources. Features like rocks or low tide elevations that can't sustain life don't generate extensive maritime zones. This is crucial in the South China Sea, where many disputed features are uninhabitable. UNCLOS also provides a mechanism for resolving disputes, allowing smaller nations to challenge larger ones through legal means. The Philippines use this very mechanism, turning a power struggle into a legal battle. The convention's rules are based on geography and proximity, not ancient history. This framework directly challenges China's sweeping claims. The law of the sea is meant to replace chaos with order. In 2013, the Philippines made a bold move by taking China to arbitration under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, directly challenging the legal foundation of China's sweeping 9-line claim in the South China Sea. The case was not about who owned the islands, but about how UNCLOS should be interpreted and applied to maritime entitlements and rights in the region. Despite China's refusal to participate or recognize the proceedings, the tribunal in The Hague pressed forward, determined to hear the case and deliver a verdict. In July 2016, the tribunal issued a landmark ruling in favor of the Philippines, declaring that China's so-called historic rights within the 9-line had no legal basis under international law. The decision not only invalidated China's central claim, but also clarified that none of the features in the Spratly Islands are capable of generating an exclusive economic zone, reshaping the legal landscape of the South China Sea. The tribunal further found that China had violated the Philippines' sovereign rights by interfering with fishing, oil exploration, and other lawful activities within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Although the award is legally binding on both parties, China outright rejected the decision and has continued its activities in the disputed waters, maintaining a strong presence. Even without direct enforcement mechanisms, the ruling remains a powerful diplomatic and legal tool for the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations facing similar challenges. It delegitimizes China's expansive actions, strengthens the Philippines' diplomatic hand, and rallies international support for the rule of law at sea. Today, the Tribunal Award stands as a central pillar of Manila's maritime strategy and its ongoing efforts to protect its rights and interests. It's a clear, authoritative statement from an international court, setting a precedent for peaceful dispute resolution. This legal victory shifted the global debate from one of sheer power to one grounded in principle, in law, in international norms. The Philippines proved to the world that even against a much larger power, law can challenge might and uphold justice on the international stage. After its legal win, the Philippines moved to enshrine its maritime rights in domestic law. The proposed Philippine Maritime Zones Act defines the country's maritime zones in line with UNCLOS. This isn't about new claims, but formalizing existing rights and removing ambiguity. The law guides the Navy and Coast Guard, making any foreign incursion a violation of both international and Philippine law. It signals to the world that the Philippines is committed to a rules-based order. The act is a form of lawfare, using legal tools to assert rights and challenge China's claims. The new official map, based on the act, will be submitted to the UN, showing the Philippines' legal entitlements. It omits the 9-line, instead depicting the West Philippine Sea as part of the country's exclusive economic zone. This map becomes a tool for education, diplomacy, and enforcement. The Philippines also draws on history, using the 1734 Murillo Villard map as evidence. This antique map, made by a Spanish priest and Filipino artists, is the mother of all Philippine maps. It clearly shows Scarborough Shoal, now a flashpoint, as part of the Philippines centuries before China's 9-line. The map was presented at The Hague to counter China's historical narrative. While the tribunal's ruling was based on UNCLOS, the map undermined China's claims of ancient control. The map's public display has galvanized national sentiment and become a symbol of legitimacy. It reminds Filipinos and the world that their claim is rooted in centuries of history. The Murillo Velarde map is a tangible link between past and present. Its history used as a weapon in a modern legal battle. The Philippines knows it can't face China alone, so it's built a network of alliances, Its mutual defense treaty with the United States is key, with both sides clarifying that it covers attacks in the South China Sea. The U.S. supports the Arbitral Award and conducts freedom of navigation operations to challenge China's claims. The Philippines also partners with Japan, Australia, India, and European nations, all committed to a rules-based order. Cooperation includes joint exercises, capacity building, and coordinated diplomacy. Within ASEAN, the Philippines pushes for a unified stance and a binding code of conduct. Progress is slow, but Manila persists, seeking to manage disputes and prevent escalation. By working through multilateral channels, the Philippines builds a coalition to uphold international law. Strength in numbers is its shield against coercion. China rejects the Arbitral Award and insists on bilateral talks, leveraging its power over smaller neighbors. On the water, China uses gray zone tactics, coercive action short of war. Its Coast Guard and maritime militia swarm disputed areas, block access, and harass Philippine vessels. China has built artificial islands with military bases, projecting power across the sea. These new facts on the water cement its control, regardless of international law. China also wages an information campaign, portraying itself as a victim and discrediting the tribunal's ruling. Its narrative aims to divide opponents and justify its actions. The battle is fought with ships, words, and ideas. China seeks to win the argument even after losing the legal case. The Philippines' legal strategy has changed the game, creating a reality China can't easily ignore. The new Maritime Zones Act and official map force China to defy global norms or align with UNCLOS. Resolution will require both bilateral talks and multilateral pressure, always anchored in international law. The Arbitral Award should be the starting point for any negotiations. ASEAN unity is crucial for a binding code of conduct. The Philippines' approach is a blueprint for standing up to coercion with law and diplomacy. The international community must support freedom of navigation and the rule of law. The future of the South China Sea depends on whether law, not force, prevails.